Cries to God for help abound in the Psalms. The psalmist cries out for help as an individual, as when he perceives others threatening his life. Sometimes the cry for help is on behalf of the whole community, as when Israel found itself threatened by foreign powers. In almost every case, the cry for help includes a word of praise and thanksgiving to God for help that they hope God will provide in the future, help that has not yet actually materialized. It is an expression of the psalmist's complete trust and confidence that God will act to save the individual or the nation. Psalm 54 is a cry of an individual for help in the face of enemies trying to hunt him down. And unlike some of the other psalms that are cries for help, this one is relatively brief and gets straight to the point, and it's all about the name of God. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. One of my favorite psalms is Psalm 124, which ends with a verse that John Calvin routinely used to begin worship, a verse that I continue to use to this day. It says, "Our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth." Today's psalm selection for morning prayer from the daily lectionary echoes this. It begins, "Save me, O God, by your name." I've always thought it was a kind of peculiar thing, but it turns out it is a recurring motif throughout the Psalms, which prompted me to think a little bit about it. Turns out it's really not much of a mystery. You just have to know a particular fact about most English translations of the Bible. When you see the word Lord with small capital letters, you can be sure that the word it is translating is Yahweh, which is the name God says to Moses when Moses asks God, "If I come to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your ancestors sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' what shall I say to them?" God's response is to use the verb to be as his name. In Exodus 3:14, God responds to Moses, "I am who I am." He said further, "Thus you shall say to the Israelites, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God concludes the answer by saying, "This is my name forever, and my title for all generations." In Hebrew, "I am" is the first person singular form of the verb to be, ehyeh. So where does Yahweh come from? It is the third person singular of to be. So literally, when we use the name Yahweh, we are saying He is, or maybe better, He who is. All well and good, but why not simply use the name when translating from the Hebrew? Why use the term the Lord at all? Simple. Jewish practice holds that God's name is too holy for mere human beings to speak. So in Hebrew, instead of Yahweh, they use the term Elohim, always knowing that it is a way to refer to God's name without actually saying it. And why is this? For the simple reason that in the ancient world, to call someone by name was to exercise some measure of control over that person, and under no circumstances can we be left thinking that we have any measure of control over the Lord whatsoever. All of which is taking a long way around to say something very simple. When we read something like "Our help is in the name of the Lord," we're literally saying our help is in the name of Yahweh. God's very name has power to create the heavens and the earth, and power to rescue those who are in trouble, no matter how great the enemy and no matter how hopeless the situation. And so with that, here's Psalm 54. "Save me, O God, by your name, and vindicate me by your might. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For the insolent have risen against me, the ruthless seek my life. They do not set God before them. But surely God is my helper. The Lord is the upholder of my life. He will repay my enemies for their evil. In your faithfulness, put an end to them. With a freewill offering, I will sacrifice to you. I will give thanks to your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me from every trouble, and my eye has looked in triumph on my enemies." So when the psalmist asks for help, he is literally invoking the great and powerful name that is above all other names, the God who is the creator of everything exists, and whose name is too holy even to speak out loud by fallible human beings. In this case, not only does the psalmist call on the name of the Lord, he also in the Thanksgiving section gives thanks to the name of the Lord. So, what's in a name? Well, if it's the name of the Lord, everything. Tomorrow, Psalm 65, a psalm of nothing but praise. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.